What's going on, everybody? Welcome to a new original series called Why This? The series where I will be breaking down some of the worst scenes in movies and why they're so terrible. This idea came to me as I was rewatching Return of the King the other night, where I saw maybe one of the worst sequences of events that has just left me baffled. Anyways, with that being said, grab a quick snack and get ready for the worst scene in The Lord of the Rings. The Lord of the Rings is a great trilogy. Some people even call it the best trilogy of all time. Recently, I've been rewatching all the extended editions, and I guess that statement holds true. These movies have had a lot of charm to them, but also some obviously silly moments. And while I can nitpick every moment and scene, I think the overall arc of these movies is very good. With that being said, there is one scene in these movies that is particularly just the worst. And of course, that's Éowyn versus the Knight Rider. Now, I'm not super involved in the Lord of the Rings community, so I don't really know how much this has been discussed, but the more I watch this scene, the more utterly confused I get as to why in the world this scene was seen as a good idea. Let me set the stage for you. Gondor's under attack. The armies of men are outnumbered 10-1. The odds look bleak, but hope still remains. And then, a ring wraith pulls up on a fell beast and decks the shit out of Theoden. The ring wraith lands before him and commands his beast to feast on his flesh and devour his soul. But before he can do that, Theoden is saved by Aragorn. Right? Wrong. It's his niece Éowyn, who's currently experiencing her first ever battle. Now, when I first saw her step up, I thought, okay, she's gonna buy Theoden time. And then help's gonna arrive, and it's all gonna be okay. But that couldn't have been further from the truth. Éowyn tells the ring wraith to fuck off, to which the wraith responds with,
No.
His beast then lunges to attack, but somehow, Éowyn sidesteps that shit and hacks its head off in 2 fucking blows. You're telling me this random princess, who by the way, has never seen battle, was somehow able to behead a giant flying dragon? Okay, sure. After she cuts the head off the beast, the wraith gets up to fight her. Now, this is where the scene just falls apart completely. The wraith pulls out a fucking comically large flail. Like, this thing is the size of a grown man's torso. Why? Why in the world did they give him this thing? Just give him a cool sword. It takes a solid 3 to 5 business years to swing it, and not once does Éowyn simply just close the distance and attack him. I guess they tried to edit around this by cutting away every 2 seconds, but it's still so obviously apparent that she could have just fucking closed the gap here. I don't get it. I get that she isn't experienced in combat, but like, how did she cut the head off of a dragon? How did she do that? If she's not experienced in combat and she can't pull a simple close maneuver, how did she sidestep and cut the head off of a dragon? I mean, I really can't emphasize how terrible the editing here is. Like, come on. Anyways, she eventually gets her shield bashed in and knocked to the ground, obviously. And at this point, instead of overhead swinging his flail and absolutely decimating this moron, the wraith decides to close the gap and bring her face to face with him? Like, come on, we're not chronically this dumb. So then she's saved by Merry, who I guess was here the whole time, even though he hasn't been seen once during this battle. I really don't know where he came from here or why he didn't do a single thing to help earlier, but whatever. Merry stabs him, forcing the wraith to let go of Éowyn. Now this is important. As Merry stabs him, we see he gets physically hurt from the blow. Remember that for later. The stab forces the wraith to his knees, where he tells Éowyn he cannot be killed by a man. Now, I knew immediately where this was headed, and I felt it in the pits of my stomach. I audibly groaned. Most people, when hearing that, would assume, oh, that means a human can't kill him. You know? Like, by no one of mankind. That makes sense in the context of this character. But, in a not-so-shocking twist, Éowyn rips her helmet off and declares loudly,
I am no man.
Before stabbing the wraith in the face and killing it. I know for a fact that one of the most feared creatures in the Lord of the Rings universe, a creature that, mind you, was able to stand toe-to-toe with Gandalf the White, was just defeated by the power of vagina?
I am no man.
This scene is so mind-numbingly dumb. Like, what a horrible writing. I'm just baffled. Anyways, After stabbing the Wraith, Eowyn somehow has no evil side effects at all, like Mary. She simply just turns around to comfort Theoden as he dies. She smiles as he says his last words, and it's like, okay, well, she lived. That was cool. I honestly could have let that slide, because, like, yeah, she was protected by the evil from her womanness or whatever. Same reason she was able to kill the thing. But the very next scene, we cut to Éomer screeching over Éowyn's body?
Huh?
Come on, guys, we missed a few steps in the editing room here because I was so fucking confused. How? What? Why? I don't have a single clue as to how this happened. She was completely fine like 2 seconds ago, and now we come to find out she was cursed or whatever? I just cannot comprehend this editing choice. Why don't we see her faint? Why don't we see the black shit in her veins? You can't just cut that out. God, it's so confusing. Listen, guys, I really do like these movies, I promise, but this sequence of events is just so bad that I had to say something. From the god-awful editing to the abysmal writing, I'm speechless to how this was even considered to be included in the final cut. Anyways, that's all I got for this video. I hope you guys like this. I plan on making it into a series as there are plenty of horrible scenes to go over. So if you have any movie recommendations, leave them below, and I'll see you guys in the next one.